Hi guys, we're going to continue reading our chapter book today, like pickle juice on a cookie. Where we left off, Eleanor's babysitter BB was just moving away to Florida to go help her dad in the hospital. She's very sad. It's the worst news possible. She's grown up with this babysitter. So, chapter 10. The next Sunday, as my mom was leaving to visit her aunt, my dad came into my room. "Guess who I just saw in the lobby?" he asked. He looked very happy. I couldn't think of a neighbor who would make him so happy. So I said, "Jorge Posada?" Jorge Posada is a New York Yankee baseball player. My dad loves him. My dad laughed. "It wasn't Jorge," he said. "Well, then who?" I asked. "Agnes," he said, "from the apartment upstairs. She was there with her mom. I invited her to come play with you, and she's coming." My mouth dropped open, and I sat straight up, and I started shaking my hands at my dad. "I don't like Agnes from upstairs," I said. "Well, you don't?" he said. He didn't look happy anymore. "No," I said, "I don't. Agnes from upstairs is scary. She never talks to me or smiles. And one time in the lobby near the doorman's desk, she jumped on her brother, and they both fell on my feet, and I tripped over them, and I landed hard on my arm. BB was there. She held us up and then fussed at them. "You see all these people," she said, wagging her finger at them. "You can't be so wild." Then she brought Agnes and her brother to their dad and took me upstairs and put ice in a bag and laid a towel on my arm and held the ice on the towel on my arm for a good long time. I liked sitting there with BB holding ice on my arm, so I never told her that before she even started, my arm was feeling fine. I said to my dad, "I don't want to play with Agnes." "But your friend Pearl is away," he said. "So many of your friends are away, and I want you to have fun. Summer is supposed to be fun." "Agnes is not fun," I said. "Oh dear," my dad said. "I'm not sure what to do." He looked worried. "Call her mom," I said. "Tell them not to come." "But Agnes might feel really hurt. Might feel very hurt," my dad said. I glared at him. He still looked worried. Finally I said, "If Agnes is coming over, you have to stay with me the whole time." "I will," he said. "I promise." Chapter 11. A little while later, the doorbell rang. Agnes was there with her mom. "We should do this all the time," her mom said. Agnes didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. "Come in," my dad said. "Come in." So Agnes came in. "I'm right upstairs if you need me," her mom said. Then she left. "Have a seat, you two." My dad said, "Have a seat." I pulled on his arm. "Stop saying everything twice," I whispered. "Oh," he whispered back, "sorry." We all sat down on the couch. "Aren't you both 8? my dad asked. "No," I said. Agnes still didn't say anything. "She's 9, I said. "So you've already been through 3rd grade? my dad said. "Oh, how perfect. Eleanor is starting 3rd grade soon. You can tell us all about it." He waited. We both waited. Finally, Agnes said, "It's okay. Do you write any stories in 3rd grade? I used to love to write stories," my dad said. "Yes," Agnes said. "We wrote stories and letters. Other things too, I guess. I can't remember." I can write stories and letters, I thought. We did that in 2nd grade. And then I thought, letters! I can write letters! And then I stood up. "I'm going to write a letter," I said, "right now." "Right now?" my dad asked. "Right now," I said. "Would you like to write a letter too?" my dad asked Agnes. "No thanks," she said. Then she said, "Could I listen to some music?" My dad looked surprised. "Sure," he said. So my dad took Agnes to look through our music. I got out my best stationery and I sharpened a pencil. Then I sat down at the kitchen table and I wrote a letter to BB. I wrote, "Dear BB, Agnes from upstairs is here. Dad invited her. He didn't ask me first. Don't worry, she's being very calm. Yesterday, Mom bought me new pants, so I will have them for school. They're too big. Nobody here can sew except for you, and you left. So now I have to wear a belt. Here is a picture of me in the too big pants, and here is a picture of calm Agnes on the sofa. I miss you every single day. I really do. And I love you a million trillion. Love, Eleanor. I didn't want Agnes to see my letter because it was private, and she might feel funny since I wrote about her. So I folded it up right away and pushed it in the envelope and wrote my return address in the corner, just like we did in the 2nd grade. Then I went to find my dad to get Baby's address. He was standing with Agnes by the stereo. They were singing a Beatles song. My dad does not sing very well, but Agnes from upstairs sounded beautiful. He smiled. My dad smiled at me. Want to sing with us? He asked. No thanks, I said. I need Baby's address. So my dad got Baby's address while Agnes sang. I liked listening to Agnes sing, but I was ready for her to go home. Finally, as she went upstairs with her mom, I went downstairs with my dad and I mailed my letter to Baby. Chapter 12. As soon as my mom came home, I told her, I wrote a letter to Baby. That's nice, she said, but I could tell she wasn't really listening. She sat down on the couch, then patted the space next to her. So I sat down beside her. I have to go back to work soon, she said. We need to find someone to help us, someone to be with you during the daytime until the end of the summer, and then pick you up from school when 3rd grade starts. I don't want a new babysitter, I said. Well, I understand that, my mom said. I really do. But we don't have a choice. Your dad and I both work. I could stay by myself, I said. No, my mom said. You really couldn't. I knew that, but still. I won't like anyone else, I said. I understand. My mom said. No one in the world is as good as Baby, I said. I know, my mom said. But maybe we can find someone who is not too terrible. I heard about someone named Natalie. Maybe we could try her out. Do we have to? I asked. We have to, my mom said. Fine, I said, but I didn't like it. Chapter 13. Natalie came over that very afternoon. Oh, you keep inviting people without asking me, I told my dad. But he wasn't listening. He was opening the door for Natalie. Natalie didn't look anything like Baby. She looked much younger. She had a ponytail. Baby did not have a ponytail. Natalie wore jeans. Baby never wore jeans. Natalie smiled at me. I smiled back a little, but not a lot. You must be Eleanor, Natalie said. Yes, I said. Then I said, don't ever call me Ellie, please, because Baby liked to call me Ellie. I won't, Natalie said. If you don't want me to, I promise. Then my dad said, well, why don't you show Natalie your board games? So I showed Natalie our board games. I need to warn you about something, she said. She looked very serious. I'm very good at board games, she said. You might be able to beat me, but it will be hard. Don't worry, I said. I'm good too. I'm good at board games. Baby says she used to let me win, but now I win all by myself. I even win the games that are just about luck and don't take any skill at all. You were born under a lucky star, Baby says. Let's play Mancala, I said to Natalie. In Mancala, you move rocks around in a certain way, and if you have the most rocks at the end, you win. No one has ever beaten me at Mancala. Natalie didn't beat me either. Look at that, she said. I may have met my match. After that, we played lots of different board games. She won some, and I won some. Then it was time for her to go. Next time we can play Mancala again, she asked. Okay, I said. You can take it home with you now if you want to practice. Good idea, she said. Then she went home with our Mancala. All right, we're going to stop there for today. Thanks for listening.